So talk to me about why I would choose to sell via auction rather than private treaty.
Well, auction generally, we believe gives you an extra 5 to 6 times inquiry on each of your listings, and the reason behind that is the lack of disclosing the price on the premises until you get the first initial inquiry. So for that reason alone, we believe it generates a higher amount of inquiry, therefore giving you a large amount of competition. And as we all know, that competition obviously pushes up the price in the asset in which you're selling.
So buyers find it very frustrating though, don't they, not having a price on an auction? How do they get an idea of whether they can afford the property that's being advertised?
Absolutely, great question. The issue that we're seeing, particularly in this market at the moment, I believe, is a huge amount of competition on the properties due to a distinct lack of stock. And the reason behind that, or the struggles that we're seeing for purchasers at the moment, is their ability to try and get into the market and trying to capitalise on an auction campaign which they aren't getting a price on. The most important thing that they need to do in that circumstance is to obviously do as much background information or background work that they need to do, conduct all of their due diligence to ensure that they've got the right comparable sales to correctly price their property.
Yeah, so research is really the key.
Most importantly, I think anybody who's looking to purchase any sort of property needs to ensure that before they do so, they have done their full due diligence on the property itself.
So the market in Sydney in particular right now is a seller's market,
yes,
which means that there are a lot more buyers than properties available.
Yes. So
auction is going to achieve a higher price in this kind of market, would you say?
I think so. Look, it's very hard to put an exact pinpoint on what will get you the best price at the moment. Being an auctioneer, I'm always going to say that I believe auction is the best way to transact property. Particularly at the moment, we're seeing clearance rates, climbing up towards 90%, which is something that we haven't seen before. We're seeing a larger amount of bidders on the properties as well, which is something we haven't seen to this extent, in the previous 10 years at least. So in the market that we're seeing at the moment, you're almost mad not to auction due to the distinct lack of stock and the increased buyers in the market due to obviously the market forces. Most importantly, probably at the moment, is of course the interest rates.
Well, thank you so much, Jesse.
My pleasure.
I think there's been some fantastic information, and I really appreciate you coming in.
That is okay. My pleasure to be here. Thank you very much for having me.